This is a video on my Glock 26. This is actually my second handgun after my HK USP 9mm compact. I got this gun because at the time I was really into pocket pistols, subcompact pistols. I still am, but I just don't buy too many because it kind of becomes pointless in the state of New Jersey. You can't really carry, and because I started shooting more competitions, I started getting more into full-size guns. So this is my only subcompact, but it's still a very amazing performer. I sold my HK USP. If you guys haven't seen that video, you could check it out for various reasons. I sold it, and what happened was that left me just with the Glock 26 at the time. And I just happened to have enough mags for the 26, and I also had a holster and mag pouches for it. So this happened to just become my default competition gun after I sold the USP. Now most of the times people wouldn't really consider a subcompact like this as a big competition gun, and rightfully so. I mean, a subcompact is definitely a little bit harder to shoot. You don't get as long of a sight radius, and obviously you don't get the full grip, so reloads are harder, and you don't have your grip is lacking the pinky. And a smaller gun it's just a little bit more hard to do manipulations and transfers and what have you for competition. Recoil is a little bit worse, but I'll get to that a little bit later. On this particular gun, it's really not that bad. So I'll start with the quality, fit, and finish as I usually do, and then I'll move on to the performance and reliability. Everyone's familiar with Glocks, so I guess I don't really have to get into it too much. So I'll just go over my personal opinion of it. I didn't really I never liked the look of Glocks. I always thought they were ugly. I still think they're ugly. And to me, as I've covered in previous videos, looks do actually matter to me. I know they don't affect performance at all, but I do care about it. It's hard for me to pick up a gun that doesn't really appeal to me. Right? It's part of the whole shooting enjoyment for myself. Well, some people don't care. So for me to buy a gun that doesn't appeal to me from outward appearance, it kind of really has to shine in another area. So for me, Glocks, they shine because of their simplicity, their reliability, the very, very ingenious construction of the gun generally. It's very simple, and I like the fact that it's very easy to work on. Upgrading, maintaining, replacing parts is extremely simple on a Glock, and just generally speaking, the way that they're built, the finish on the slide, the barrel, everything is very durable. This gun has seen, oh boy, I don't really know what a proper estimate would be on this. I'm gonna just guess 3,000, maybe 4,000 rounds. It's just a rough guess. And I did buy this used, by the way, so I don't know how many the owner put on previously. When I bought it, it was in very good shape. So, but I'd say 3,000 to 4,000 rounds, and it's been through, I guess, a few USPA matches, several steel matches. So I've used it for competition. I've practiced drawing, holstering, and everything. And if in looking at this gun, it really looks just with a tiny bit of holster wear here, it really is in excellent shape. So that to me shows that the Glock finish really holds up. I have a SIG, a 1911, and they show wear a little bit more, and seems like they pick up on it a little bit quicker than this Glock, because this Glock has been through just about as much as those guns. Actually, the SIG's been through less, but the 1911's been through about the same, and it's showing definitely more holster wear and everything. Whereas, I mean, if you look at this, barely any wear on it. It's the finish on Glocks is just superb. So that I really like. And it's a gun that you can just kind of beat up on, and because it's already ugly, I mean, can't really make it any uglier. It's nice. As far as the performance and reliability, Glocks are known to be extremely reliable, and this generally has been, but I have to say, with factory ammo, actually the first magazine I put through this, it was factory ammunition. I think it was Cellier and below. I might be saying that wrong. It was factory ammo, and I did have one round that when it was feeding, it got caught in the ramp. It just kind of got caught. The tip of it got caught here and got stuck, and the slide got stuck in this position, and it was not something in which I could just tap and rack out the round. When I tried to extract the round, it was completely jammed, so I had to drop the magazine and then work the slide to get it out, and then reinsert the magazine and put in the fresh round. The second time I had it happen, it was similar. It was a while ago, so I don't remember exactly, but I don't know if I had to drop the magazine, but it certainly was one in which you couldn't just tap and rack it out. So that happened twice on factory ammo. I do know subcompacts tend to be a little bit more finicky, just because you're compressing everything into a smaller space. But it did happen, so it just goes to show you Glocks are not infallible. You know, they can have a hiccup here and there. Now, I do reload my own ammunition, and generally speaking, this has shot it pretty well. I have had some hang-ups, and that was particular with hollow point ammunition. It would get it's a shorter. I made them pretty short, so I'm not going to say it's totally the gun's fault, but it would get caught right at the top of the barrel and get jammed. And in most cases, you could just tap it and rack it out, but that did happen a few times with my reloads, which didn't happen in other guns. But again, this is a subcompact, so it may not be apples to apples in comparing the two. So, but generally speaking, it's gotten me through matches, it's gotten me through some steel matches, and it performs very well. As far as accuracy, this is really why I kept this gun and why I'm most impressed with this gun. It performs like a full size. It's extremely accurate. I was just blown away when I put the first magazine in here. I thought my group would be a little bit bigger because it's a subcompact and you're missing the grip down here, and you know it's shorter, so you'd think the recoil is bad. The recoil on the 26 is not bad at all. It's actually, to be very honest, I don't feel that it kicks any bit more. The recoil is not any more pronounced than a full-size weapon to me. Glocks have this very unique way of minimizing recoil. I don't really know exactly how they do it. I don't know if it's a double recoil spring or the polymer or what, but they do an excellent job. And the 26 is no exception. It looks small. You think that it's going to kick a little bit harder, but it really feels like a full size when you're handling this weapon. The accuracy as well is on par with full size. I could shoot pretty much the same group with this gun as I can with all my other full size guns. The full size might be a little bit tighter, and I could probably shoot at a slightly faster pace. This will take a little bit more concentration, but it's not that much harder to shoot accurately. These have the factory Glock night sights, which again, I'm not a big fan of night sights, but that's just because I don't carry defensively. It's not really I'm more of a competitive and recreational shooter, so that's why they don't work out so well for me. But they're not bad, and even though it's a short sight radius, even still the accuracy has just been phenomenal. That's really where I'm very impressed with it. And at matches, you get kind of weird looks when you bring a subcompact to a USPSA match or a steel match, because everyone has at least a full-size gun. A lot of people have race guns in if they shoot those divisions. And at steel, you know, most people are going to be shooting a full size because it's just obviously such easier to handle that. So when you see when they see a subcompact, obviously it looks a little bit out of place, but it definitely holds its own. You know, it shoots times and it shoots scores that are comparable. I mean, I'm not the best shooter, but even with this gun, I could finish in the middle of the pack. I can kind of be average, so it's keeping up with the full sizes, and that to me is very impressive. I didn't find it. I'd say from maybe 10 yards, maybe up to maybe 12, 13 yards, and closer. There's not too much difference in me using the 26 and a full size gun in regard to how fast or accurately I shoot. But once you get beyond that, that's when it kind of starts to. I mean, of course it's a shooter, but for me, that's when I start to find that this gun's a little bit more difficult to handle than the full size because of the short sight radius. So when you have those, like a steel plate that's kind of out there, or a target that's kind of out in the distance, you got to take a little bit more time with this gun. I do shoot high and to the right with this gun. I think it's me. I don't do that with any other gun, but I guess it's me. The sights are definitely centered and everything, so you know I'm pretty sure it's me. But overall, it's still very accurate. Now the 26 does have this particular serrated trigger. That's the one thing I don't like. I've heard they had to do this so that they can import them. This I would like to change out. The trigger pull's still 5.5 pounds, but these serrations are not my preferred setup. I like the flat trigger, so you can get your whole pad on there and it doesn't really have a hot spot in the middle. Maybe that's why I'm pulling my shots, I don't know. I probably will switch it out eventually. Haven't really used this so much in competition anymore because I have I use the 1911 a little bit more now. This is the standard mag, and most of the times I have 5 mags and 4 of them have this. I just kept this one stock. With this, it really starts to feel like a full size. But to be honest, it doesn't really make an enormous difference in my performance or accuracy or even my reloads, whether I use this or not. To me, it really doesn't make that big of a difference. I might actually switch and ball back to this, or I might get another one to put on here just to be consistent, but it's not a big difference either way. So that is the 26. Again, very awesome pistol. I don't think I'm going to get rid of it because it's my only subcompact and extremely fun gun to shoot. This gun has a lot of fun factor. Everyone I know who does own one, they say the same thing. It's just a fun gun to shoot, even if you're not going to use it for competition or even if you can't carry. It's just a great range gun, surprisingly versatile for its size. So if you're looking for a subcompact, I definitely recommend this. And as always, thanks for watching. 38.